Mosier Media Podcast.
Good morning and welcome to the Monday Morning Commute here on the Mosier Media Podcast. Hard to believe, August 24th, 2026. And yes, we do get up early on a Monday morning. The crew comes in, records the Monday Morning Commute. Now, this particular Monday morning, we had a very big job last week involving shooting some automotive video work for an event coming up in September. It was all the testing of all the cars and making sure everything was going to work for the big event for our client in September. So we spent last week out near MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, had a blast, and of course the client wanted to be able to present some of the highlights from that video shoot, some of the photography and video we had done. And in about 40 minutes from this recording, the board of directors of the company, the CEO, all coming together, global company. Vague booking, as we say, is sometimes you really don't want to share because of the nature of press and things being released and products just being announced. So we're vague booking, but what the client wanted was a sizzle reel this morning. And so we did a little bit over the weekend, and our very dedicated editor, Caden, they're staying Friday night into Saturday and then coming in at 5:30 this morning to put the finishing touches because the clients are reviewing it over the weekend. Big meeting here in just a little bit, and that's how you do it. And in corporate video and in all media work, there are just deadlines that just exist. And so we were on the road 4.5 days last week, getting back late and then getting right into the edit. And that kind of adrenaline rush, those kind of deadlines, it can be a bit much at times, but that's what drives us. That rush, that fun, it really is what we do. And so this morning, we have just finished and sent off that video for the client. And this particular assignment was a lot of fun for me personally, because sometimes as the business owner, you're not 100% sure where you fit in. And I am so fortunate that we have great field crews that can handle things without my involvement. And in many cases, maybe they would prefer to be handling things without my involvement. So to be able to come in as the business owner to a shoot, and maybe because your crew members have the relationship, your producers, your directors have the relationships with the clients, and those clients may not know or care who I am, and that's okay. My ego can handle that. I can be the guy that just showed up to bring water. I can do craft services all day. Even though I'm the business owner, I can come in and make sure everybody has what they need. I can bring coffee. I can bring the donuts. I can make sure that there's lunch for everyone. I can run to the store if somebody arrives on set and realizes, hey, we need a couple extra batteries. We need some more water. So I can be the gopher. And that's okay. And there are times where perhaps I walk into something and somebody says, hey, we really need you to stay for this. And a couple of those kinds of examples. One would be if somebody needs an interviewer. Of course, anybody that knows me knows I love to interview. So if somebody hands me the questions for the person being interviewed, let's say we're doing a testimonial video and I'm going to ask the person being interviewed about the product or about the company. And sometimes that's better coming from somebody that's not from the company, like a journalist or a neutral third party that's just saying, hey, what was your experience with this product or this company? That's a role that I love. So if I walk into a room and they say, hey, we need an interviewer, I'm all in. And if I walk into the room and they say, hey, we got this, I can read the room and I can go do something else. If it's a traveling assignment, I can go back to the hotel and do emails. I can go out to the car and make phone calls and all of that and be on standby to assist as needed. But in our job in New Jersey last week, we came into it and realized that for whatever reason, because this was the test of the actual event, the press event that's happening in September, this was the run through, and it's great that we did this. Client's wonderful and very prepared, and the reason for the test is to figure out who's going to do what. So I walk in and they say, hey, we really need a car-to-car driver. And so, of course, back in my day, in my 20s, working for the big client, I developed a skill, and that is driving the van with the camera crew hanging out the back so we can do what's called car to car, where you're on a test track or you're out on a highway or some backcountry road, and the vehicle with all the cameras sticking out the back is here, and the beauty car with the tires on it here, and the camera crew can do beautiful video and pictures of the car driving, rolling tires, And that's how a lot of the commercials and different sizzle reels and product videos were made. And when they said we need a car-to-car driver, I said, oh, I'm all in. I haven't done it in several years. I had a blast. And we went out on the road, and we went out, on the track area that had been designated right there near MetLife Stadium. It was a ton of fun. And I'm glad I was there. And then I'm thinking, maybe the old man's still got it. But again, as business owners, as marketers, as communications specialists, when you set something up, you put your team in action, most of your work is done when you get there because you've done the work of putting a great team in place. You got the client involved, you put it all together. Once you're there, can it just run on its own? In my case, 99% of what we do can run without me. And that is a fun and interesting place to be. Again, very fortunate that we have incredible crews that can run it without me, but it is great to show up and discover that I'm actually needed. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. This has been the Monday Morning Commute, and I would love your feedback. Do you find yourself in a similar predicament? Is what I am sharing something you can relate to? As the business owner, where do you fit in? Do you know the balance between micromanaging, looking over somebody's shoulder, really immersing yourself in the production process where your people could probably handle it without you, and maybe they should, or knowing when to step back, and the balance between being too disconnected and too absent, and that fine line you play between letting your crew do their thing, but then also showing you're there to support. And I think last week, for one brief moment, the magic was back and I had it figured out and I had a blast. There's a lot more to come on that particular assignment. But again, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. This has been the Monday Morning Commute here on the Mosier Media Podcast. Make this a great week. Make this week the week that it all comes together. Thanks for watching.
Mosier Media Podcast.